Shalom, Shamak. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakodash, double honor to the elder apostles of great millstone who rule well and teach well even unto this day. Shalom to you brothers just as well as you sisters who might be tuning in, listening, and learning. And just getting right into it. Pretty much seen seen an article that was on one of the brothers had posted, and it was dealing with General Yohana talking about how King David, and the spirit just hopped on me to because I was meditating on it, because we pretty much don't know, if we those men or not. We don't really know, but we hope that we those men, And so that through that understanding of, how the Lord is dealing in mercy, that's how we walk, and we ought not to exalt ourselves, because we understand that at any given moment the Lord can abase us and take this from us. This is the book of, and when I say this, I'm talking about this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The understanding that you are Israelite, the understanding that the Lord's name is Yahushua. All the whole full role. It says Luke chapter 14 verse 11. It says, "For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted." Right. So the Lord deal with, matter of fact, that's in the scriptures. Okay, actually, what I'm thinking of is how the scripture talk about how the Lord deal with the poor, but the Lord do deal with the humble in heart, though. The lowly in heart, which I still think that's in the scriptures, but I'm not sure. But moving on, this is the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. It says, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land." And I pulled this because Jacob pretty much ain't right. Jacob be the main ones. Some of the main ones is exalting himself like Esau. The Lord don't like a proud spirit. That's in the scriptures. He like a humble spirit. And so the Lord said, if Israel humble, then the Lord, heal Jerusalem. He played the heathen to play the fuck out of the heathen. Now they want to get the fuck out of Jerusalem or make something happen to where everything would be all right. But the Lord, he promised it's really not gonna be like that. It's gonna, 2/3 of Israel gonna have to die. This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 10. It says, "Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and He shall lift you up." Right. So the Lord is the one who gonna lift us up, man. The Lord, He lift up and He bring down, man. So we gotta keep that in mind. Different guys out there, and these different guys out here, they talk big game, but at the end of the day, we just men, that's all. We just men, so we gotta keep that in mind. We guys at the same time, but we ain't got no reason to be exalting ourselves. You know, because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shemi Ashai, He the one who be giving us power, and He the one who be taking it. So when this is the book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 16. It says, "So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen." Right. So the Lord, He only chooses a few. And we hope and pray that we amongst those few that He chosen. Because we understand that everybody who wanted to go the swift, fast way to what they think is heaven, is really gonna be the last ones, man. Everybody took the hopped on the Esau choo choo train. You see, and we want the fast way out. We want it right now way. We don't want to wait on the Lord. It's a choo choo train right here. What we need to wait on the Lord for? You know, Esau, that's my promised land. You see, well the fast way, the broad way, is gonna lead to death, man. You know, because that train got a final destination, of death, and it's not what Jake think it is, man. You know, so we gotta make sure that we taking that narrow path, because the Lord is leaving a lot of examples, a lot of them. That's why the scriptures say, "For many be called, but few chosen." You see, we don't want the Lord to make us an example. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. And it says, "For we dare not make ourselves," right, and I put this because we hope that we amongst that number. We can't just say that we King David. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Shit. You come up in the truth and your zeal, your zeal is great. So you King David, shit, you got a good zeal. So that means that shit, you might, I think you, King David, or I think you, Samson, you know, which at the same time, shit, we the sons of the prophet, so we damn near next to that glory, if we be those men, Lord's willing, we those men, you know. But at the same time, we don't know, so we can't just outright say I'm amongst the elect, because the Lord can, make you not amongst the elect. And that's not a good look. This book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12, it says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves." Right. It says, "But they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise." Right? Because what type of balance is that? Like shit. So here it is, you walking around like you King David in the reincarnation. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, the Lord humble your ass and you ain't got shit. Now, do you still think you're King David? So that's why we can't, walk in that spirit, because at the same time, and yeah, that's a good point, because shit, what did King David have to go through? What did Job have to go through? You know what I mean? Like, they ain't just get the glory and that was it. They was dealing with shit, man. So if we want to say that we these men, then we better eat the pie that comes with it, man. You know. But it says them comparing themselves among themselves are not wise, man. We shouldn't be in that spirit of comparison. Because the Lord, created every individual spirit. He created every individual spirit. Some over the others. Some less than the others. It's all a balance of Yahbashim Yahshua. Every spirit is needed to play its part in this lot. Oh, I'm gonna get some closing precepts, or maybe a closing precept. It's a good one. It's the book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "Let nothing be done through strife or of vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves," man. We gotta esteem, that's the spirit that you want to be in, because like the Lord said it, man. This is a mystery, but the Lord said, the first gonna be the last, man. So hey, brother, if you the last, then there's a good chance that you're gonna be the first, man. Because the lowest mindset which really is not even the lowest mindset. Really, it's the highest mindset that you can have on this earth, man. Really, it's the gift of Yahbashim Shah. Because the lowest mindset that you can have on this side, where we live in Esau's kingdom currently, is the mindset that you hope you amongst the elect. That's the lowest mindset that you can have, according to Esau, system. Because, you know, shit, that's the lowest mindset that you can have. But in the kingdom, it's gonna be the highest mindset. You see? So the Lord, man, off the chain, man. The Lord is pretty much the most. He is a king of balance, man. You see? This is a good one. This is book of James chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, "But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahweh shall resisteth the proud," right? "But giveth grace unto the humble." You see? So Lord, he give grace to the humble, man. Shit, we should boast ourselves in humility. Like Apostle Kabar said, we pride ourselves in humility. You see? That's what we do, man. And that's what we ought to do, because there's nothing else left here, man. Everything else vexes. This shit vexes whether we be, in the truth or not, man. This fucking kingdom is wicked as fuck, man. But we hope that we those men, It says, "But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahweh shall resist the proud, but giveth grace to the humble." It says, this is a good one, Luke chapter 14, verse 11, "For whoso exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted." Right? And who the main one exalting himself? Esau. You see? And so he gonna be abased, And who the main ones, humbling ourselves, humbling themselves, garments of mourning, wearing those garments of mourning, the hopeful elect, man. You see? Sackcloth, Then you had the prophets, our forefathers, they bathed themselves in shit and things like that, crying out to the Lord, ripping their garments. These were men that humbled themselves, but they esteemed as great men. These are our forefathers. They went down in history, the best, as the godliest men on the face of the earth, man. Our forefathers. And we the sons of those men, So we trying to see ourselves on the same glory. But that don't mean, just be running around telling everybody that you're amongst the elect, because you don't know at the end of the day if the Lord will allow you to go through with that, which is a good chance if you hope, But at the same time, we got to stay in the lower state. It ain't no time for us to be so extremely proud, and even if we understand that we the Lord's elected nation, that's good. But we don't need to be overly exalting ourselves, because we still, even though we the Lord's elect, nation, nation of Israel, we still in the lower state, and our value has dropped extremely. Our value has, decreased, for lack of better words, a lot, man. So we got to keep that in mind, you got to stay in a low spirit, and the Lord going to exalt us, man. The Lord going to give us, he find favor in that, man, Shit, matter of fact, yeah, the Lord find favor in that. water y'all Bashim Yahushua. I almost forgot about this precept. I was about to close out, but I almost, damn, call out Yabashim Yahushua. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2. It's like it. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12. In verse, I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, of such and one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory. It says, but in my infirmities, right? So we like Apostle Bar, so we pride ourselves in humility. We glory in our infirmities. That's our testimony. That's part of our testimony. It says, for though I would desire to glory, right. So, even in the midst of brothers, you get in the midst of brothers and you know what I mean, always bragging on this and all, bragging on that. You know what I mean? That's not the, we don't want to, you know what I mean? Just something that came to mind, I'm not saying brothers be doing that, but, just something that was on my spirit, Lord's willing, but it says, of such and one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in my infirmities, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool. For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. Right? It says, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool. Right? For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be. Right? Because at the end of the day, us brothers, we do have an image. We all hold an image of our testimony in Yahushua. You see, that's what's keeping us going. Brother. That's what keep you going. Your image. What your image of yourself, man. But we don't want our image to be above what it actually is. But we do want our image to be glorious in Yahweh Shem Shah at the end of the day. You see, we hope that our image can be, great and you know what I mean, for lack of better words, extremely glorious in Yahweh Shah. You see, but we don't make ourselves at that number. At the end of the day, we just hope. We hope that we are the number. It says, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me, right? Lest a man, we speak the truth, you know what I mean? But even in the midst of that, brother might abase himself. Like, I don't know, a lot of times I might speak about, speaking to everyday people, I might, give them a couple precepts and, tell them about this and that. But at the end of the day, it might come to a point to where I have to abase myself and tell them like, hey, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I still be going off this and you know what I mean? Because you have to really, and that's just how I be doing it sometimes. But that's, me personally. But that's how you have, it's a part of humbling yourself, because we understand that we not, um, perfect, man. For lack of better words. It says, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be. Because, hey, look, man, the Lord might give you some things, man. He might, put the spirit on you heavy, for a moment. He might give you certain things, in the world or whatever. You know what I mean? But then a man might look at that and be like, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. But at the same time, you know what I mean, you don't want another man to see your image more than what it actually is, and that's how you're gonna be perfected, because guess what, you're gonna be perfect in your balance, man. That's what we goal. Our goal is not to try to make ourselves above that which we is. The scriptures say, If a man think himself to be something, he is nothing. But our goal is really to perfect, our lives, man. Our goal is really to be the best versions of ourselves. You see? It says, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. You see? Because the Lord, we ain't got to try to you know, push over exalt ourselves to something, a level that we not, man. Because the scriptures say all our righteousness is what? Filthy rags. You see? It says, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance. And you see the humility of these our forefathers, man. These were the prophets, and they saying these things, man. You see, the prophets. The Lord was dealing with these men. It says, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. Right. See, that's why we had that thorn in the flesh to balance us out, man. We need that thorn in the flesh, on this side, or we'll be, proud as fuck, man. We'll all eat a missile. So the Lord gave us the thorn in the flesh to balance balance us out. Because look, man, put it like this, if, David, King David sitting in the throne, or another example, maybe Paul, these great men, these were very great men, So, what I mean, and they had a great reputation. But look, but they still had to stay humble though. Even in a great position that a great seat that the Lord had blessed them with, they still had to stay humble. It says there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to buffet me. Right? And we all got Satan in our flesh, man. Brothers all dealing with certain battles, man. Brothers all dealing with certain things, different battles, man. Which are all the same battles, But we got Satan down here buffeting us, man, which is this flesh, man. Which is programmed to go off, but we deflect the programming, or we in a way try to rewrite our DNA towards righteousness and out by Shah to the best of our ability. It says, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. All right? Esau, because what's gonna happen if you exalted above measure? You gonna be in debt, because you pretty much pushing yourself or putting yourself on a pedestal that you're not even on in reality. You putting yourself on a light. Over setting yourself overly much, man. And really, that's not even you. And the Lord here revealed that to you by making you eat, doing all those idle words. And now you sitting up here in debt. And you're not as much as what you thought you was. You see, that's what's gonna happen to Esau. He gonna be in some extreme debt, for overly exalting himself, because it wasn't no, what's the word? Life insurance behind, him exalting himself, man. It wasn't a, you know what I mean. Well, the price that he gonna have to pay is captivity for 1,000 years. Hey, it says, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And brothers got different thorns in the flesh. Shit, I'm sure brothers be praying on their thorns, because it might not just be the flesh. It might be different situations that brothers dealing with and have to go through on long periods of time sometimes. Or just things that brothers dealing with at their jobs or whatever. You see. But that's the fight that we fight, and that's a race that we race, and it's always something that we have to deal with, us being not only, the nation of Israel and under the curses, but also, us being hopeful elect, man. You know, it says, "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me." And that's why we be in a state of mourning, man. The scriptures say, uh, um, uh, um, was that much knowledge is much grief, for paraphrasing. He it says and he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahweh Shai Shah may rest upon me. You see? So, hey, this is a good one. I'm going to close out with this. It says, Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities. We have the pleasure, in these infirmities, man. And reproaches and necessities and persecutions. All right, all of the thorns in the flesh and distresses for Yahweh Shah's sake. As hard as it might seem to be pleasured and to being distressed, being persecuted, well, that's what Yahweh Shah told us to do, man. We got to take it pleasurably, you see, and through that, that's gonna make us some of the strongest men on earth. This was gonna make us gods. Lord, from those men. It says, "For when I am weak, then am I made strong. Am I strong?" So shit, we ain't gotta, say that we Samson. We ain't gotta say that we King David. Because guess what? The Lord could still give us, the power of Samson to rip a lion in half. He still give us, the power. The scriptures, the scriptures say, the works that I do, you shall do also, and greater works. You see. So the Lord, the Lord exalting us is better than us exalting ourselves. But that's all Jacob is caught up in, is exalting himself. That's why you got guys talking about spiritual powers don't exist, and we crazy for even believing that. Well, you gonna see, when Yahweh Shemiah Shah start exalting men, it's gonna be real. But Lord's willingness is edifying. Thwadi Yahweh Shemiah Shah forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Nishamak. Until next time.